Hello and welcome to DY's First Impressions and banner review for March Legend Part 2. Hope you guys all had a great roulette period. Sorry this video is dropping a little bit late. I've been a little bit ill, as you can probably maybe tell. But yeah, here we are. So this banner brings us two new, very popular characters actually. We have Yukata Viki and Yukata Siete as well. So without further ado, let's get right into their kits. So Viki overall is looking to be a really strong skill damage based full auto character. Think sort of like Ilnot. Her main appeal is really the fact that this particular skill here, Rateups folks, which does a big nuke, dispels as well, but this auto activates at the end of the turn, essentially every turn if you have the right skill team. If you look here, it says at the end of turn when allies deal skill damage 15 or more times to the current target in one turn, activate this at the end of the turn. Basically, this means that if you have like Mana Diver MC, some other skill damage nuking characters like maybe Makura, Song, Ilnot, characters like that, she will essentially activate this at the end of every turn, which is extremely powerful, obviously. This is a pretty big nuke. Without any skill supplemental, I think it's around 5 mil, somewhere around there. And then with like a Zeus grid, you can hit like over 10 mil or something like that. So very strong here. It also does 2 debuffs, which is quite useful. The other thing is her S1 inflicts a permanent debuff on the enemy, which is very similar to her Halloween version, which does this damage taken amplified effect every 60 hits you deal to the foe. And this is across your entire team, of course. And the thing is, Viki does a lot of hits herself. So 10 here, 5 here, 10 once it upgrades as well. So she also sort of enables her own kit in a sense. So very powerful sort of synergy there within her own kit. Her final skill is a buff to everybody. And essentially it's a skill damage buff alongside some other nice defensive utility. So very nice kit overall here. Her Ogi rounds out everything here, which ends the cooldowns for these skills, much like, you know, Sama Magisa's, and it allows her to click these skills more often, and it also reduces her S3's cooldown as well. Now, some of these things also get some effects when her Festive Rat level is 3. The way you get that is by activating her auto nuke at the end of every turn. This also passively provides attack, defense, triple attack, and dodge rate, and supplemental light skill damage to your party. So overall, very powerful. But that's not it. She also gives a bonus light damage effect one time to light allies before attacking. This will stack with the majority of effects in the game at the moment because there's not that many sources of light damage one time. So basically, you can consider this for now like a unique source of echoes. Overall, if you couldn't tell, I think very highly of Viki. If you're a full auto gamer, Viki's looking extremely strong for light. I think her premier team will be something like Viki, Ilnot, Makura swapping into Song, something like that. If you need even more dispels for some reason, maybe Guild War, then you might put in like Holiday Mahira there instead. So some team like that I think will be extremely powerful for just general full auto and Guild War specifically as well. Now, do you need her for Guild War? No, technically no. You don't ever really need a character for Guild War. The only downside is that every time is that your full auto might just be a little bit slower. So just something to consider there. Speaking of Holiday Chicken, I do think her roles sort of overlaps with Chicken's. The main thing is that she's much more full auto friendly, Viki that is, and she also does a lot more damage than Chicken. But what Chicken provides over Viki is the fact that her debuff, Chicken's debuff, lasts even if she leaves the field, whereas Viki's doesn't. So you can sack Chicken in certain setups if you need. And the other thing is if you run Chicken, she does a lot more dispels than Viki. So I think it comes down to what you need in particular. If you're fine with doing a bit less damage but having more dispels, then Chicken's going to be fine. But yeah, if you happen to have both, you can just run both as well, I guess. I think that'll be a really fun team. So that's my thoughts on Viki in a nutshell. Is she needed for anything? No. Is she really good for full auto? Yes. She has also seen some use in very, very super duper optimized, like fast zero like speedruns, but honestly, that's like 0.00001% of people. We're talking like 3-minute far runs, things like that. So yeah, sort of irrelevant for me and most of us here. So yeah. All right. And then let's move on to Siete next. So Dark Siete, Yukata Siete. He has sort of ditched his charge attack identity just a little bit, and he's more taken on the role of the auto attack version from his alter version. So Siete functions very similarly to Fire Zeta Grand in the fact that he consumes charge bar as a resource to buff his normal attacks. So for consuming 70% of charge bar, he gains triple attacks, boost to attack, critical hit rate, bonus superior element damage 1 time, which is a unique effect to him, and then amplify normal attack damage and boosted damage cap as well. Once you're at 5, it resets its cooldowns, and he also gets Assassin on this particular skill, which is a self-tag team effect, just like his Alter Siete version. So to sustain this amount of charge bar, he has his skill 2, which gives him 100% boost to charge bar. He has Uplift on this particular skill. He also has 2 charge bar EMP nodes. And finally, and most importantly, he has a max charge bar limit of 200, so you're not wasting any charge bar, and his charge bar gain can't be reduced. So this means any effects like Falsehood, Chain, or Erish Kigal, which lowers your charge bar gain, does not affect him. And what this essentially means is that you can sort of use Siete in some of these Erish Kigal full autos, and he'll do a lot of damage. He is a little bit clicky, as in like he clicks more skills than needed compared to other characters. Like Ilsa, you only really need to click S1. Sidala, you don't need to click anything. 6, I guess you want to click S1 and S2, things like that, right? So yeah, but he does do a lot of damage, or at least comparable damage, I should say. He does provide some other utility here, some Veil, Dispel Cancel, a Dispel over here too. But yeah, at the moment, he's looking like a full auto, normal attack focused character who charge attacks every so often because this skill here gives him the resource to charge attack. And his charge attack, that's not the reason you're using this character. It's mainly for his auto attack damage. I think at the moment he looks fine, but perhaps with future synergy, less future synergy, but more just options, I guess. We might see him in some other teams as well. His effects here are they're not bad at all, but they provide less utility than something like Zeta's, and the consume 70% bar is quite a lot. But the upside here is that unlike Zeta, this effect does proc even if you haven't clicked the orange attack button. Zeta only works when you click attack. Siete works when you do tag team, when you do this skill, any sort of effect like that. Any attack he does, it always consumes. So I think keeping up the 70% all the time is unrealistic, but you will have it most of the time. So yeah, something to consider there. All right. And finally, let's talk quickly about the rate-ups. So on this banner, we have 2 grand rate-ups, which is Luo and Sandy. So Luo as a character, unfortunately not really used. Most of the time when you use Luo, you would instead use Lucio. So yeah, there's that, unfortunately. His weapon is seen in Zeus grids. And then the other rate up is Sandy. Sandy, of course, is very, very strong for his backline passive alone. You can even use him frontline for certain teams as well. He's not bad for that. Full auto, some high level content, you can use Sandy there. And then obviously Efes is Light's Exalto weapon, which means that it is very, very core to current Zeus grids. I think this banner overall is a good banner to spark if you're looking to go into Zeus, because of these rate ups mainly and the chance to get Vicky along the way. If you're pulling here other than that, it's really only just because you want Vicky or Siete. I think it is better to hold your funds if you aren't invested into Light or Dark, because in June we will very likely have a grand with the anniversary rerun, and then at the end of June summer begins again. So very soon we'll have more key banners as well. So if these 2 characters aren't looking too exciting for you, or if you don't really care about Light and Dark and you want to invest into other elements, it's best to skip this banner. But if you're going into Zeus, great banner for that. So I think that about covers it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hope you guys are all having fun in the April Fool's event here. It's very, very fun. I've been having a I've been playing this a little bit too much. Let's see. Anyways, catch you guys later. Have a good one. Bye bye.